I'm just going to get started because I know I haven't got too long this morning.
No, July's so fine.
I just want to begin by asking if you could just tell me a little bit about your character and how she fits into this story.
Yeah, absolutely. So my character is Princess Roxana. She is not only a princess, but also a social media influencer. And she goes on this summer school program that they all go on, and she realizes that she has superpowers. And she's not too happy with her superpower, which is invisibility. So Roxana's personal journey is a journey of self-love and self-acceptance inwardsly and not outwardsly, not outwards, as she's always projecting a specific facet of herself. And so the movie in general has fantastic messages kind of sprinkled throughout it about teamwork and not judging a book by its cover, but her personally is acknowledging that it's all right to not always be seen and to appreciate yourself, not just from your specific features that you're putting in. So it's a really important message that I was really glad I was able to portray.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe not in the traditional sense, but you are playing a Disney princess effectively. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Dream come true. Dream come true. I remember when I first got the script, I was like, 10-year-old me would slap me if I don't get this. 10-year-old me would be so upset if I didn't get this good job.
Did you have a favourite Disney princess when you were growing up, one that you used to sort of dress up for at birthday parties and stuff?
Yeah, so Cinderella was my favorite one, but I think that's just because she had blonde hair. My two favorite, like at the moment, or the ones that like I'll go back and watch, is Tangled. I love the movie Tangled. I think that was a great film. And then also Tiana from Frog and the Princess, The Princess and the Frog. I loved, those are two movies that I will still go back and watch and show. It's awesome being that older generation now, showing my younger sibling, like my younger cousins and stuff who are younger but don't know the older ones, because they've got this influx of new meat. Or Frozen's their story when mine was Snow White, so it's lovely being able to show them these Disney movies that are so old now.
Yeah, but I mean, just Disney, the second you see the opening kind of Disney logo and hear the music, there's just this feeling of like comfortability. And I mean, you're now a part of the Disney canon. That must feel quite nice just to know that you're now in that world and part of that machine.
Yeah, I'm so insanely grateful as well. Like, it's such a fantastic production company and platform as well, and it's everyone's childhood, as you said. So it's that comfortability that you feel when you watch the opening credits, and now being able to say that I'm part of that. And even it just being on Disney Plus, like I saw the advert for Disney for Secret Society come up. We have Disney Plus whilst we were searching on Disney Plus, and it was like, that thing of like, I'm in this mix, I'm in this whole world of Disney, and it's insane.
And of course, I mean, you always want to relate to the character at hand, but I guess just on paper, relating to a royal can be quite hard, because I guess they're like on a different world to like the normal people like me and you. But I was wondering if you could relate to just being in the public eye, because obviously you're a big star of Home and Away. You're now involved in a Disney production, so there's lots of fans who are kind of have certain expectations of, I mean, especially with soap fans, really get into like their characters and the actresses and actors that play them. Yeah. I just wonder if you can kind of relate to that idea of being out in public and not just representing yourself, but representing a kind of the brands and the companies that you've been employed by and stuff. And if you Absolutely. Can relate to the royals on that front.
Yeah, I mean, they're too inexplicable. Like, you can't compare them. I can't imagine, like, just watching the press on Meghan and Harry. Like, I could never imagine that.
Yeah.
And I think in a sense, I feel really bad for them, because every single movement is so intensely judged because of this kind of, the monarchy that there is. And I think in a way it's quite different, as I am, and I guess it's lucky as an actor, or what's really important for fans to sometimes remember is that I am not per se Raffi, who is my character on Home and Away. We're two very different people, and we live very different lives. So I think in a sense that's good, as me as an actress, where I'm grateful because people will know me for my characters. And so it's not, but I remember like Raffi got into a fight or something, and fans would come up and be really upset, and you just got to go, well, that's not me. Like, it's not. But again, I think we're so grateful to be in the public eye, because I can spread messages that are important to me and speak words that are my truth. And I'm able to, like, again, a great example of Home and Away, the show wouldn't be what it is without them. And that's the same with Disney. If without that long time love for this corporation, or for the channel, or for the show, you wouldn't have the platform that you have. So I guess this isn't really relating to what the royals go through, but for me, you always, anytime there's a fan, you have to be appreciative, because that's the reason that you are here. It's because of them and because of the viewers. And without them, you wouldn't be able to do all the things that I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I'm able to do. But it was great being a royal, and there was lots of moments where we had to think about our reputation and the judgment that was constantly pushed upon us and how that made us behave, because it's difficult as well, because we're teenagers and we're just trying to navigate life with this massive social pressure to be a specific thing.
Yeah. Well, talking on just on the subject of Home and Away, because I interviewed Jake Ryan last week for Filmies.
Yeah. I haven't spoken to him. I'll have to message him.
Yeah, but it's just interesting, because over here in the UK, there's a little bit of a stigma when an actor or an actress works on a soap. They really struggle sometimes to break free of that character and get roles in other productions and other projects. But it seems in Australia, it can really be a real stepping stone for huge Hollywood. I mean, there's so many huge Hollywood stars started off making episodes on Home and Away and Neighbours. I was just wondering about the perception of soaps over there, and if it is perceived to be something that is actually a really respectable, worthwhile way to ply your trade and to get your kind of first acting chops.
So I think that it depends on the person, I guess. If you're not an actor and you didn't really watch soaps, you'd see it as this massive dramatic thing. I definitely think in Australia, if you're on a soap, that's Home and Away was the best training I could have ever asked for. And I think I'm proof that I've played all of the TV shows and movies that I've done, I've played very, very different characters. So there isn't a huge stigma around it, I don't think, in Australia. However, soap is a very specific genre. And so I find it interesting that people go, "Oh my God, a soap," when it's like saying, "Oh my God, a comedy." In Australia, it's a fantastic learning ground, and I think it's really well respected within the acting community, of knowing that if you get a gig on that, that's so much experience and so much knowledge within that gig, and that's kind of sometimes more than any drama school could give you, because it's so fast paced. Yeah. So yeah, that's. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic stepping stone.
So I've only got a couple more questions anyway, but I was going to ask about, in terms of how similar you are to your character, are you one of those people that can't get off her phone, or are you quite good at just putting it to the side? And because I'm terrible, I'm one of those people, I go out for drinks in the pub and I just spend all night just speaking to people that I'm not with. Yeah.
I think I've become a lot worse. If I'm with people, I won't, because I'm having I'm in the moment, but I think due to quarantine, I've become a lot worse because there's nothing else to do. So I'm just constantly stimulated by my phone. So I think there's a good lesson in that, in not basing your entire world around your phone, or having that, again, as the only facet that you're portraying is this specific thing online, and not working on yourself and the personality that the real people see. So I think there's a fantastic lesson that I took from that. And I think we have rude at the start. So I wanted her to have some really great comedic traits. So I gave her a really posh accent, and she talks like this, and she's a bit stupid, but I wanted people to laugh with her as well as go, "Well, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you?" So I think we share similar humor, because that's the kind of humor that I wanted to put in there.
I was kind of hoping that you'd have that accent on this morning as well. Like, you just haven't been able to shake it since playing her.
I was actually watching a TV show, like a British TV show, and it was talking like this for the whole time, because the lead talked like this all the time. So I was just going around like this, and then everyone's getting
quite good. That is pretty good.
Thank you very much.
My final question was just looking into your sort of career and the start of your career, in a sense that, of course, acting is in your blood. You've got a great acting legacy in your family. I just wondered if it always felt kind of inevitable for you. I'm obviously, with lots of hard work involved, that you would follow in the footsteps of your kind of ancestors and get into this profession.
So I don't think it was inevitable. Well, I think it was inevitable because of my deep love for acting, and that I've always had, and my love of performing and entertaining. But it was never ever enforced upon me. Like, if I don't ever want to do this because acting is my life, but if I just said, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to be a lawyer, my parents would completely and utterly support that, and my grandparents would as well. And so I think having that freedom, and like, to not, that this isn't, if this is no longer what I want, then that's fine. But also their support of going, if you do want this, you have to work really hard. So my like all of, you know, it was fantastic having a mother and a grandfather who were in the industry because they knew agents, or I got to go to plays at such a young age or be around people in the industry, but they never kind of set up auditions for me or got me a job because of who they were. It was always my work, which I appreciate as well, because it taught me how it actually works, because at some point that stops, right? So if you can start working as hard as you can from the get-go, but it's been fantastic having their advice as well. And like, you know, I do all of my self-tapes with my mum. She's the best acting teacher I could ask for. And my grandmother used to teach me acting when I was 8 to 12. And, you know, my grandfather taught me all through Home and Away. So I'm so blessed to have those teachers in my life as I move forward as an actress. Wow.
Brilliant. Great. Well, yeah, you don't want to be a lawyer anyway. It's better. You don't want to be a lawyer. Just play it. You don't want to be a lawyer. Just play a lawyer. And then you kind of get to be a lawyer. That's the good thing about
play a lawyer, exactly. No,
yeah.
Precisely. And then I did my dream job in a movie once. And it'll be very easy.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for your time today. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Yeah, you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!